fun? Are you single and love to travel? Then you are in the right place.
Hi, everyone. Ahoy, mateys. Hello. Wow, I haven't been on in a while. You know how I like to be brief as possible because time's a wasting. It's so nice to be back and tell you all the exciting things we have going on. But today, what I'd really like to talk about is the real love boat. The love boat. Soon we'll be making another run. The love boat. Doesn't it kind of take you somewhere? Something for everyone. So you may not know this, but actually, that's the only cruise ship I had ever seen before I went to go live and work on a cruise ship for 6 months when I was like 23. So the Love Boat, Julie McCoy was the cruise director. And I always say, I am the real McCoy. Like, she did it on TV, but I did it in real life because not only did I work for Princess Cruises, I actually also worked for one of the biggest singles company for travel in the world. And I worked with thousands and thousands of singles. And I always say there was a love connection every episode or every cruise. And, you know, it really was kind of my whole branding, I think, was based off Julie McCoy because she was fun and she was sassy and she wasn't, that wasn't called sexy, but that was the 70s. You couldn't be sexy on TV, but I think she was sexy for 70s TV and 80s TV. And so, you know, we're a little bit more modern, but I always kind of felt like that good girl that really just wanted everything to work out for everyone. And, you know, the hostess with the mostess, and you know, someone that really cared about her passengers. And that was what I did and what I do or had done before COVID. Anyway, so I was working with Brian Howie, who is an incredible host for the Great Love Debate. And I tagged him in this. So check him out if you're interested in seeing some live shows around the country. But he turned me on to podcasting again because, of course, I have a little podcast, but he's going to make it a big podcast. So that's exciting. He has Pod Populi, which is a podcasting studios all around the country, and one in Boca Raton, which is just down the street. He's also part of the Boca Chamber, which I'm a part of the Boca Chamber because I did that Battle of the Bands. Everybody that followed that whole journey, that was amazing. I sang it was actually like a real band from nuts to bolts. It really felt like becoming a band. They all had never touched instruments before, and they learned how to play We Got the Beat. And that was Battle of the Bands through the Golden Bell Education Foundation. And that got me involved in the Boca Chamber, and that led me to Brian Howie. And then we got the Love Boat, the real Love Boat, because Brian Howie reached out and he told me, he's like, Shelby, did you hear about this Love Boat reality show? Because of course I've been on several of his podcasts and he's doing my cruise director podcast. So he knows that I'm like totally all about the Love Boat. It's like where I began and it's where my heart is. And in fact, we were going to be doing a reality show before COVID. We were doing it on our ship. We had hired the videographers and we have Solo Travel TV on YouTube. And we were going to do a reality show that we were casting for before we even, you know, got completely blown up by COVID. So it's very serendipitous that it's kind of coming full 360. So CBS is doing, and a couple other big networks, but I know CBS is definitely one of them, is doing the real Love Boat. And they're basically casting for the crew, which is, you know, the Julie McCoy, the Isaac, the Gopher, the Captain. I'm missing someone, aren't I? The Captain, Gopher, Isaac, and the doc. Oh, who I met actually. The doctor. I met the doctor because back in the day on Princess, when I was working up for Princess Cruises, they actually had cameo appearances. So all the cast used to come on, and one of the times I got a picture with the doc, who's what's his name? Help me. What's his name? Write it in the comments. Anyway, Bernie. His name's Bernie. So okay, yeah, I got it. Thank you. So his name is Bernie. Anyway, he's the doc, and they're going to be casting for the roles for the crew, and then they're going to cast for the people that are like on a singles love, reality show. And I got word by Brian Howie. Thank you again, Brian. And I said, you know what? I have a lot of friends that love the Love Boat, I think. So let me put a group together. So we put the Facebook group together, the Real Love Boat, and I've been putting the information in how to apply for this opportunity. And lo and behold, I had no idea how many courageous, fun friends I had, but I have at least 20 people that have told me that they have applied, and a couple people have heard back, which is so cool. But one of the things I thought was so interesting is that most of the people that applied told me not to tell anyone. So what I wanted to come on and say is, if we're going to try to be on a reality show, we got to get out there. Like, we got to like work together and support each other. So if you want to do this, get in the group, either be a supporter or, just tell us you're going to do it. But practice pitching. We should be practicing pitching. So if they give us a call, we know what we're going to say. I got an email back, and they told me to, that was last week I posted, I got an email, and the casting director said, "Oh, Shelby, you're so cute." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." But I really do believe this is like my calling. She said one of her associates will give me a call. I haven't actually, been, oh, you watched it when you were a kid too, babe. That's awesome. I haven't actually been called yet, but they did say they were going to call me. So I'm hopeful. It was just a few days ago, so I'm not in that much of a rush. But at the end of the day, that's a great start. And I understand it's a long shot, but I can tell you that I so many of my real friends and acquaintances that are just good hearts, that I feel like we're friends, even though we don't spend a lot of time together, but we interact, through different reasons because of our situations here, whether it's my work or other friendships. But they've been so complimentary to the fact that this is me, and it is me. It's what I did. I worked for Princess Cruises. I was the singles cruise host, and I was the cruise director, and it is me. So I know that there's a lot of actresses that just kind of want to be on TV, and I get that. And I don't want to take away from that, but this is like my life. Like, my life's work has been about being the cruise director for the singles. So I'm really, 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 really excited. And my some of my friends that are into a lot of self-development, they'll tell me not to hope and just, it's already done, and just believe that. But that is so hard because I've been so crushed the last couple of years on so many of my dreams and hopes for travel, but COVID took them all away. And it's been really, 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 it's been really tough emotionally and financially, but emotionally, I think even worse. So I'm trying to get my spirit back up. So I want to support you, and you support us, and let's get in that group. And I think doing some pitches will be great, just to practice. What would you say if they called? Why choose you? And the questions, I suspect, on the application will be very much like the questions they would ask us on the phone. So I think that's a really great idea. So I'd like to do that. So the link for the group is in here. So check that out. And, just request to be part, and I'll get you in there as soon as I can. And then check out our YouTube channel if you'd like. And then don't forget to, we want to thank Brian Howie for even getting us led down this path, because I didn't even know about the show. So let me tell you what I do know about the show. I don't have any special privileges or anything like that. This is done by the big TV networks. And I know what you know. I went and got the information, and I'm just trying to give you the cliff notes, so to speak, as I normally do. So what I do know is that it's on a Princess Cruise, and that it's in the Mediterranean, and that it's this summer, very likely somewhere in the summer. They haven't been completely specific on dates. Obviously, everything's flexible. So the questions I do get from people is are they being paid? I don't know. I can tell you that I do have a backstage. I just got a backstage membership, because they also do a lot of these casting. It's just kind of like an online casting thing for extras. And I probably should get my affiliate code out there for you guys, because I think you get some money off if you want to do the membership. But I finally decided to take the dive, because I had already applied through the link, which you can get through our group, and got an email back, and then applied to the crew area. And I felt like the backstage thing was a fair investment for the year, because you can do things on social media, and you can get little acting jobs in Miami and any of the big cities that are from your home port or hometown. Home port. I can never get out of it. Go to your cabin. Anyway, so um, so I did get that membership, but I haven't actually applied through them yet because I had applied directly and they got back to me. So that's cool that it works either way. Um, but I do know that they are generally they give a stipend of, and I think it's a low amount. It's probably just enough to like buy a couple sandwiches a day. This is definitely more of a volunteer position because you're getting national exposure. And if you're not an actress, I get why you would like question it. But for someone like me, I'm not an actress. However, I do own a travel business, and this has been my life's work. So it would put me on the map and get our travel fun biz even bigger and quicker, which is, obviously ideal for any business owner. So that's one big reason for us, for me to want to go. Some people have asked me if I'm going to try and find love, and I'm like, do you know me at all? I've been in love with Joel for my whole life. So no. Someone else told me that it might be like Temptation Island. If I get on there, they're going to try to like coerce me to get with another man and cheat on my husband. And I was like, really? You don't think I've been tempted over the last 12 years? Like, bring it on. Bring it on. I'm kind of like a loyal puppy dog. It's not that I don't understand attraction and feel different vibrations, but I just respect our relationship with my husband and so much that and I was cheated on when I was very young by a high school boyfriend that I was so in love with, and it broke me. I mean, it was so upsetting to me. And I just never wanted to do that to anyone because cheating, like, to me is always like, I have friends that are like constant cheaters, and that's just kind of I've kind of grown to believe that that's just part of their personality. And like they find it thrilling. I find it very stressful even for them. And it's just not my character. So bring it on, baby. Like, if it's Temptation Island, I'll take that challenge. But more so, I've always loved the Love Boat. It was really my mentor for cruise ships in general, and it was the reason I was on a cruise ship at all. There was no other way for me to know about it because we were very poor growing up. So I went camping. That is the only vacation I ever took, was camping with my family. And I had never seen a cruise ship because I was from middle Massachusetts, not the coast. And I didn't know about them. I remember the first day. I will tell you the story of the first day that I saw a cruise ship that I had already decided to go spend 6 months aboard on. So here I am, 23 years old. I had just gotten out of college, and I worked a year at Canyon Ranch, which was it is the number one health spa in the world for so many years running. It was the inventor of like the wellness spa. Like, before wellness became a thing, they were a thing. And because I was an exercise physiologist and a nutrition minor and a psychology minor, like, I was very interested in real wellness. And so I learned so much there, and we got to work with celebrities and stars. I met Julia Roberts. I played a lot of volleyball, we called it, with her. Sylvester Stallone, I have a funny story about him if you ask me, on the side. I won't put it on social media, but it's pretty funny. I met Mary Tyler Moore, who was a sweet woman. She had diabetes, that I think was the reason she ended up, passing away. But she was older, but she was a lovely lady. I was a spin instructor for James Taylor for many, many, many times, and his son. So I got to meet a lot of stars, and that's kind of what put me on the map for cruise ships. So when you're working for a cruise ship back then, you had to have like 5-star experience. So I got the job, and I was, of course, very excited. And up until the night before, when I was trying to pack everything for like 6 months, like, how do you pack for 6 months? And especially with all the theme nights, and you had your uniforms and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I didn't have enough luggage, so it's like midnight the night before I'm leaving for San Juan, Puerto Rico, for a 6-month journey. And I've really never been anywhere except for the Bahamas once on spring break with my girlfriends, which was amazing. Anyway, so and Canada. I had been to Canada because I'm Canadian. So I'd been those 2 places. So I'm packing my stuff, and I realized very quickly that I don't have enough luggage. Now, back then, you could take really anything you could carry. It wasn't like you had all these different restrictions. It was just like whatever you want. So my mom went out and she bought like a 6-piece luggage set that was like all compartmentalized and packed into one. And then you took it out and you could, I had like literally 6 pieces of luggage and I filled every single one of them. And at about 1 a.m, my girlfriend stayed with me and helped me pack. One of my best girlfriends at the time, I just burst out in tears, like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? And she said, wow, it's about time you freaked out because this is ridiculous. You're going to go by yourself on a cruise ship for 6 months. And you don't even know, like, all I knew was I was going to be teaching fitness. Okay. That's pretty much all I knew. And I had my own cabin. That was very important to me. First of all, I'm an only child and I'm not a good sleeper. So anyway, so I burst out in tears and, she calms me down. And anyway, we get there at the nick of time, literally the nick of time with my 6 pieces of luggage or whatever I could handle carrying and whatever I checked. I didn't know that San Juan was considered a different country, I guess, to the airlines. It was not like a domestic flight. So they were closing the doors. And I ran on. I think I had duct tape. That was one of my big recollections. I had duct tape. They were like, leave the duct tape. I'm like, no, I need the duct tape. I need something of security in this experience. And I honestly think that the duct tape helped me make a lot of friends because I had the real duct tape because my dad worked with ductwork. And you can duct tape the world together. So anyway. All right, so moving right along. So I get to the hotel, and I think it was like Fort Lauderdale actually, or Miami. It was nowhere far. Well, from Massachusetts, everything's far, but it wasn't like international. The first flight wasn't international. Or was I in San Juan? I can't remember. It was like 1999. It was 1,000 years ago. So I do remember I was supposed to be rooming with another assistant cruise director. At the last minute, they said, you're not going to be the fitness director right away. You're going to be the assistant cruise director because we messed up the rotation and you need to have that experience anyway. And don't worry, you'll still get your own room and it'll just be a good training. And, I'm like, okay, like I was already leaving. I already quit my other job. Like, I guess I'll do this then. So already they were kind of changing the game on me, but I was fairly flexible. So I get to the hotel. I'm looking forward to meeting this girl that I'm supposed to be rooming with that's going to be doing the same job as me. So I don't meet her. She never comes. And I meet her on the bus the next morning. And she's one of these like super, super rich girls that definitely did not work much in her life. And she clearly, she was probably a little older than me, like probably 26, 27. And she clearly had been on many, many cruise ships, many, many cruise ships. And she was telling me on the bus, like, she didn't want to stay at the hotel we were given. It wasn't good enough for her. And it was a very nice hotel, like a Marriott. And she's like, she only does 4 or 5 star. And I was like, oh, all right, whatever. And so I said, oh, well, it's so nice to meet you. Of course, I'm very friendly and I want to be friends. And she's like, oh, we'll probably never see each other on the ship. It's so big. And I'm like, Jesus, how big is this ship, And she's like, yeah, it's so big. And, I'm an assistant cruise director, she said, and I have my own office. And I was like, oh, I think I'm assistant cruise director too, actually. They just kind of sent some notice. She's like, no, it's a position just for me. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know. And she was definitely like in charge. So she had her suits all tailored. We were like the same size. My suit looked like I was like drowning in it. I hated it because I like to have like things that look cute and, whatever, and be tailored. And she had her suit tailored. I was like, damn, that was smart. So anyway, we get on board. Well, neither one of us have our own room. We're rooming together. I was a little pissed about that because I don't like sharing my space like that with anyone. And she wore so much perfume. Oh my gosh. Like, the kind of people that wear so much perfume that you're like literally choking when you're around them. Anyway, we get to the cruise ship and I just remember like my eyes going whoosh. I just couldn't even conceptualize how big it was. Like white everywhere. I I just never knew how big they were. And this was the Grand Princess, which was the largest ship in the world at the time. So I thought she might be right. Maybe we won't see each other, you know? But sure enough, we did, because we were in the same room and I was choking on her perfume. Well, we get in, and it's kind of like go, go, go. Like as soon as you get on, they're like, okay, get dressed, let's go. You're working. All right, sure. What do I do? Stand there and tell them where to go. I'm like, I don't even know where to go. Here's a map. Figure it out. Okay. So we're together, and the girl's like, I want an espresso. And I was like, we can have espresso? She's like, we're cruise directors. And I was like, wow, this is exciting. For free? And she's like, yeah. So she goes up to the bar. She's super rude to the bartender. She's like, we'll have 2 espressos, please. And she's like, who are you? And she's like, I'm the cruise director. And she's like, no, you're not. I know the cruise director. She's like, well, I'm the assistant cruise director. And she's like, you can wait your turn. And I was like, oh God, I'm so sorry. I'm not with her. Anyway, we get our espressos. And it's not going well for this woman. Like, she thinks she's allowed to do a lot of stuff that she's not allowed to do. And I'm like, just like in awe of the stuff that we're allowed to do, right? So, and I'm in the Caribbean during the winter, so I am good. So anyway, not even 24 hours goes by. This chick is like, I don't think I like it here. And I didn't get my own office like she said she was going to get or whatnot. And anyway, I don't think it was 48 hours before she gave her notice. And the good news is, number one, I didn't have to choke on her perfume. But number two, she left all her tailored suits. So I got her uniforms, which was great. But it was definitely the only reason I went on board was because of the Love Boat. So thank you to the team, Julie McCoy and the team, and Captain Stubing, who passed just a couple months back, actually. God bless, rest in peace. He's definitely an iconic man. I don't know if you know this about Gopher. I'm kind of a little bit of a nut about the trivia of the people. But Gopher had a really unique experience where they were in, I believe, Istanbul. And back then, they had blown up balloons, not with helium, but with hydrogen. And he was smoking a cigarette, which everybody did back then, right? It was like the 70s. And it popped and it exploded like in the taxi cab, and he got really badly burned. And he ended up going into politics. Afterwards, he like had a revelation. He wanted to do something good with his life. So after the Love Boat, he went into politics, and he says that was one of the big transitional moments. That was kind of interesting. Anyway, I have a Love Boat trivia. If you have Love Boat trivia, please share that in the group. Also, let's do our pitch in the group. And even if you're not going to go on this one, maybe, wouldn't it be amazing though if we were in the Med? Like, can you imagine if a couple of us get on TV in the Med? Like, why not? Why not us? I feel like we're the ones. Oh, ladies. Anyway, it's a wonderful opportunity. So please get in the group and be active, and tell me any of your Love Boat trivia, and also tell me your pitch. If they're going to call you, maybe what's the most interesting thing that you think should get you on TV? I know a couple of the questions were, why do you think you should go on this? A lot of it was about love and relationships, when that particular application for the being on the Love Boat as the reality show for the relationship people, they were talking about what has happened in the past and what you've learned and what you hope for in the future. For the crew member, the question was, what do you feel like you offer, for relationship advice? And I do relationship coaching as well. So I had a long list. I tried to shorten it of things that I've learned over the years. I've always been very, very intrigued about the relationship aspect, how to stay together, how to find a good relationship that you could build together. That I know it's so complicated these days, but I do a lot of listening and assessing and trying to figure out kind of that mathematics of what works and what does not work. And what does not work is pretty repetitive. So that's what I help people with the relationship coaching. However, I don't want to digress. Just get on the group, tell us your pitch. And then if you have any fun facts about the Love Boat trivia, I would love to hear that, because I find it so fascinating. That whole show kind of changed the game for a lot of people. And it really does bring a lot of good feelings back. And it's one of those shows that I will watch sometimes, because I always know that I will be a little laughing, and I don't have to be worried about some surprises or anything like that, or any scare or any horror. It's all good natured, good fun, and it really brings me to a nice blissful natural state. So if you feel the same, get in that group. And then thank you for my friends that have been really supportive, that have reached out and have commented and just said, you're perfect for this role. I gotta tell you, it makes me feel great. So thank you. I really appreciate that. It's been a tough couple years. I know travel's coming back, but it's definitely been doesn't kind of erase all the bad. So thank you for that support. And Travel Fun is up and running, and we have groups going. And Richard Branson is our next one. And today is the last day that Virgin Voyages. They say their big deal is over. I think the cabins. Don't quote me because I haven't looked today, but I think it was the lock it in rate, I think, was as low as like $1,600 to cruise with Richard Branson and all kinds of celebrities. Like, are you kidding me? And we have a great group of people that are coming. I'm so happy to spend time with them, and you will be too. So don't miss the boat. I mean, please don't miss the boat. And we have some other exciting news coming up too, with unvaxxed cruises that are coming out. I know some people are really excited about that. And again, Travel Fun is ran by me, and I am understanding of everyone's situation in that. So Travel Fun is understanding too. So we're trying to provide for everybody, and we're trying to do stuff a little differently. So I hope I see you on board with Richard Branson. I hope I see you in the group, the Real Love Boat, the Love Boat. Sing it with me. Soon we'll be making another run. No one's listening. A love boat. Okay, so I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining and commenting. I'm Shelby. You're fabulous. Bye.